everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to all my new followers. This week's episode we're going to talk about darkroom prints and these wonderful little Hewes reels, which I think everybody should get. Yes guys, as you might have seen on my Instagram, I haven't been posting a lot lately, and that's because I've absolutely been lost in the darkroom. As mentioned in a former video, I have been in the darkroom on a handful of occasions, and that was more to sort of support and kind of being there as in a supportive role. But I've never really actually printed myself, and that's why I've had so much fun in the last couple of weeks printing in the darkroom. I wanted to share just a couple of prints with you that are certainly far from being perfect, but I'm definitely happy with. Now, one thing that I've learned in the darkroom, you can spend hours and hours and hours trying to get just one single print completely perfect. And the perfectionist that I am, I've already learned that that could be the case, and that's a little bit of the trap in the darkroom, but on the other side, it's also a lot of fun. So guys, the first print that I wanted to share with you is my beautiful girlfriend. As you see, yes, there are a little bit of highlights here, and I definitely need to burn those in the next visit in the darkroom, but I'm not, I'm super happy with this print. Is it perfect? No. Do I have a lot to learn? Yes. Maybe I should talk a little bit about the paper. First, it's a matte paper by Ilford. It's a fiber-based paper, and as you can see, fiber does bend. And this is, you know, a good week in between a big stack of books, and it still curls a little bit. But behind glass, you're perfectly fine, and after you get it matted, you're perfectly fine as well. But it's so much fun. The second print, guys, that I wanted to show you is this one, which I'm really happy with as well. And I took this print 12 years ago on the Texas Fair, the Texas State Fair, one of the biggest fairs in the world. But what I've noticed, another thing is just, and this is on 8x10 on a 400 speed film, is the utter lack of grain, which tells me two things. Number one, that you can print a whole hell of a lot bigger than this. And number two is that I definitely have a great lens. A nice sharp lens on that Beseler Printmaker 67. And another thing that I've noticed here in this little carriage here, this little car, is there's a little person sitting there. It's wonderful to see that. But this is a 12-year-old negative. That's why you want to keep your negative, and you want to keep your negatives, and you want to keep your you want to store them carefully, because this is 12 years down the line and you can still get a high quality print out of that. Yeah, the next print, guys, it's nothing really special, but I wanted to share it with you because we can learn from it. Now, printing in the darkroom is not necessarily going to make you into a better photographer, but you do become a more honed photographer, because if you look on the left here, I am happy with this print, but if you look on the left, I should have stepped in. I can definitely get that out of there by printing, you know, zooming in a little bit, getting the easel. I don't have an easel yet, but, you know, cropping that out. But I'm not a big fan of cropping, and so more, you know, looking a bit more carefully at what you're seeing in your viewfinder definitely pays off. Then this next print here, guys, I'm super happy with, but it's not perfect because you might recognize this. I have to burn in, absolutely have to burn in the sign here. And that's going to be the next step that I have to learn, is how to burn in things, dodging and burning. But still super happy with the print. Again, 400 speed film, almost no grain. You'd have to be really hard pressed to visually see any grain. And when you scan it in with the Epson, you definitely retain that grain, and I think that's sometimes a little bit more pleasing. This last print that I'm going to share with you guys, I'm super happy with, super happy how that came out. This to me is really what it's all about at the end of the day. I found out as well that with my enlarger I can reverse it on its column and then print on the ground, but I wouldn't know how to develop. I do know how to develop, I just need bigger trays in order to develop it in a tray, which would be a fun project in the future. But for right now, I'm definitely very happy printing my prints on 8x10. Super happy again. This print is really what it's all about. There is a little, I do have to revisit. I made notes on all of my print, and I definitely have to revisit this print because there's some dust there, but I don't mind at the end of the day. Were I to sell prints, of course you want to get rid of that, but I'm not selling prints, and for me personally this is great. Super happy. Too often online I do see, and I've certainly been guilty of that myself, but too often online I see the workflow of being taking the photo, developing the photo, scanning it in, because of course we need to put something on Instagram and we want to share things, and sharing things is perfectly fine, but if you can in a local camera shop or darkroom, jump in the darkroom. It's a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot from it. Secondly, guys, I want to talk about these little babies here. Fantastic little reels to develop your film on. The Peterson reels really didn't work out for me because no matter how careful I did, they always seemed to get off or lose traction on the reel or jammed up, and there's nothing more frustrating than having a kink or a crease in a certain photo that definitely in a digital workflow you can get rid of and then print it digitally, but you're not going to print it in the darkroom anymore, which is super frustrating. But these guys, they have these little teeth here, and then that's where you hook it on that's where you hook the film on, and then you just squeeze the film a little bit and you start reeling it up, and it just almost goes automatically. There's very little that can go wrong, and it absolutely will stay on there. You do have to practice it, and you still want to leave your film, you still want to leave your leader out. That's always handy to leave the leader out unless you have a retriever. That's also super handy to have one at home, have a retriever for those cameras that rewind the film all the way back into the canister. But another thing that I like about these is I got 3 of them with the tank. Not to make too much noise here, guys, but I got 3 of them with the tank, with the enlarger, which that in itself made the enlarger really super great deal. And very excited about these guys. I think, these are gonna outlast me. Definitely. It's all metal. Very little that can go wrong with it. You do have to still practice it, but very little that can go wrong with it. And it's a lifetime investment, guys. These will not break on you, and they will last you a lifetime. Hewes, Hewes reels. Phenomenal reels. Guys, that is it for this episode. Next episode, super exciting because we have a photo shoot coming up, which I'll be doing this Saturday. You might see some photos already on my Instagram this Sunday or so of the photo shoot. Outside of that, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. Like the video, subscribe, and love you guys. See you in the next episode.